That's my favorite bog.
Yeah, mine too. Of your
I
grandfather's.
love them.
It's easy.
It is, and they're such big, beautiful berries.
All right, it's 7:31 PM on October 15th, and this is the Agricultural Commission meeting at the Lakeville Senior Center with Lake Cam Filming. Everybody should have in front of them previous meetings minutes, if you want to take a quick review of them before we hopefully accept them.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh my God. Here?
Joan, we're just doing a quick review of the previous
Okay.
meetings minutes.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Someone bring food in?
I make a motion to accept the minutes of August 13th and September 10th.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Meeting minutes accepted. Next on tonight's agenda was the possibility of a farming film being shown. I did speak with the librarian at the Lakeville Library. There would be a slight glitch to the plans, only that they cannot participate in any type of fundraising activity. We would be welcome to show the film there. They do have the facility for it. It would be likely about a 75-person seating arrangement. They do have a capacity of just over 100, but that includes standing room only. Comfortably seated is about 75. Right now, if we went with that venue, we would be looking at a date in February. They are booked out into February and March currently. Likely a weeknight between 6 and 8, if we were interested in doing that. The film itself is just over an hour long. We would have to, again, as I said, come up with the money for the showing, and then somehow we would have to arrange for a way to try and recoup some money for that night. But there, we cannot sell tickets, we cannot solicit donations actively. She was gonna check with the trustees to see if it would be a possibility to have like a jar out with no pressure. But again, that opens Pandora's box with, they deny other people fundraising efforts there. And I certainly understand a town entity doesn't want to get tied up in fundraising, but we are welcome to show it there.
So any fundraising that we do should be separated?
Cannot be done on site.
Okay.
With that being said, because it's a town commission and a town building, I think that we would probably be in good shape showing it there, and booking that as the venue. And then, as I like to do with most everything, take 3 steps back and punt and try and figure out how we're gonna come up with the money after the fact.
How much would it be?
It's $250.
$250.
To get the rights for the film for a showing. They help, the producers help promote the film as well. They do that on their website and so forth. Nancy Kitchen is the one that brought this film to my attention. She did see she bought the film, reviewed it, loved it, said it was very interesting, very well done, very eye-opening as far as actual farming and agriculture in Massachusetts not being of the factory farm type of mindset. She thought it was very well done. So I would like to book a night in February to have it shown. If anybody would like any discussion on this.
I was wondering if we can apply to the Art Council. They give grants to all kinds of town groups, like the Haunted House and people who want to show films in different places. I wonder if we could apply to the Arts Council. Can I check into that?
Sure.
And see if they'll be willing to give, we've never had one before, we've never done anything like this before. So why don't I contact the Arts Council and see how to get a grant from them and give it a shot?
Okay.
And Lakeville has sponsored Arts Council events or co-sponsored with the Arts Council. So we'd be interested in maybe half that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, that'd be great. What do we think about booking a night in February?
Sounds like a great idea.
I think it's a good idea.
All right. You know, like I said, the window seems to be about 6 to 8. So they close at 8 o'clock,
at 8,
so it
yeah.
would not be a late night for anybody.
Right.
And we could maybe get enough people there to fill the room, I would think.
I think so.
So,
I'm sorry, can I ask a question about, just a consideration that sometimes the weather in February is not cooperative? I don't know if moving it into March, of course, last year March was even worse, but I don't know, it was just a thought that maybe
yeah,
later in the season would be
Well-
preferable, but then people might not be coming out because they have other things to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think if we pick a night and play it by ear, just to get on their agenda before they fill up.
Yep, good idea.
you know, and if we have to
Do a
cancel
rain
it
date or
and do a
something.
rain
Or
or
postpone
snow
it, yeah.
or blizzard date, then maybe they can accommodate us, you know, in
Yeah.
March or April, which can be even worse than February,
Okay.
so.
Thank you.
All right, I make a motion that I be allowed to book a night in February for the farming film put on by the Lakeville Agricultural Commission.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Next on the agenda was the possibility of establishing a banking situation or expense account. Joan, I think you've got a little bit of info
do.
for us.
So Historical Commission has poll, Preserve Our Lakeville Landmarks. It's run by the Historical Commission as a group. It has nothing to do with the town. We have our own bank account. We do our own fundraising. We don't have a tax ID number because we never have enough money for that to be a responsibility that we need. And I think it's with Rockland Trust. Do you want me to go to Rockland Trust and see what's up with that?
If you have time
I do.
to do that,
I mean, I know we just do our own thing. We print booklets, we have Afghans made, we reinvest the money in things that we sell things, and we just pass the money, play the money forward.
yeah, the no tax ID kind of strikes me as odd.
And I asked why
Here
we
and
didn't
there.
have one, they says, because we never have enough money for it to
because-
make a difference.
Because it's not for profit and
It's
it
not for
doesn't make
profit.
enough money.
Right. I
Does
mean, I
that-
certainly asked them that
does
at the
that sound-
bank.
I don't know, I think most nonprofits have tax IDs.
Yeah, that's why I
mean,
think it
Poll
sounds
doesn't have-
odd to me.
Poll doesn't
that
have
it
one.
doesn't.
I can check that out.
Hopefully, we don't get Poll in trouble
I know, really.
discussing
I
their
know,
tax,
exactly.
discussing their tax business
I
here.
know, exactly. I'll be fired from Historical Commission.
Fired from your volunteer slot.
Exactly.
All right, why don't we look into that?
Okay.
And then if it is positive, I would make a motion that we be allowed to open up an account. And would we want to call it the Friends of Lakeville Agriculture or something to that
I think Cindy had a good idea.
effect?
Oh, I thought of PALE.
Pale.
Either promote or promoting agriculture in Lakeville.
Okay,
But Friends is good too.
no,
I like that.
I like that.
promoting agriculture in Lakeville.
And then we could actually put a pail out for people to put money.
Put out a pail.
You are so far ahead of us. All right, all right, so let me amend my motion that if things work positively towards the possibility of opening an account with Rockland Trust, if that proves
Or
good.
another bank, but I'll start with
If,
Rockland
if you've
Trust.
dealt with them in the
We've dealt with
past,
them
we
in the
may as
past.
well try and replicate it there. Then I would make a motion, we start the PALE promotion of agriculture in Lakeville. We need 2 people to be on a checking
I
account.
believe 2 people.
Yep. Would anybody be interested in being on the checking account?
I will if no one else wants.
All right. Hank and I, or you and Hank?
You and Hank.
Okay,
No fool.
with Hank and I,
I think it's the chairman and someone else anyway.
pending approval.
Right.
So there's my long-winded motion of if we get positive feedback from Rockland Trust in starting this account, we will start the promotion of agriculture in Lakeville, also known as PALE, with 2 people on the account, both myself and Hank Van Lahoven.
Right.
I make that motion.
And I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay. On to the 4-H Club update, of which I hear great things.
Yes, it's all ready to go with the exception of a location. You have to have at least 5 kids. They can't be just from one family in order to get this going. Nancy already has been given a list from 5 or 6 kids that were signed up, that were interested at the East Middleborough 4-H Fair. And I know of probably about another 5 more that want to join.
Great.
So everything is ready to go. The name has been chosen, the Flying Hooves.
Love it.
And my youngest daughter actually already made a logo, and I forwarded off to Nancy to see if she would like it.
Great.
The only thing is that we're looking for a location. The 4-H horse educator said that it's best if it's not held at her house. If it's held at, someplace else, like the library or something like that. The library doesn't seem to be working out. They only have one night available. I think it's for per month, not per week, which I think Nancy was planning on doing. And it was from 5 to 6, and they said plan on ending your meeting at 5:45, so you can be out by 6. So that wouldn't work. The Cowboy Shack I inquired on, it's all completed on the outside, but the inside's still being renovated. And Sarah said she thinks it might be done this fall, but she's not sure. Possibly in the spring. It's all volunteer work, so they really can't rush things. And I think the next thing to do is check in on the churches and see if we can find a place that we can hold it there.
Okay. So you have a members list or potential members list already?
Nancy has it along with the email addresses and the phone numbers.
And you need a venue that will host weekly or monthly? Or bi-weekly?
I think she's planning on doing it at least bi-weekly.
Okay,
And she's had 2 adults that showed interest in being assistant leaders as well.
okay. And how many people, how much space do you think you're gonna need for how many people?
10 to 12 kids, possibly 3 adults.
All right. So minimum room for 20 people, if anybody is interested
Yeah,
in.
15 to 20
Can
for
come up with a
starters.
spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you need from us in this, or have we?
No, I'm got to talk to Nancy. I've been doing some running around. I inquired on the Cowboy Shack and the library. I haven't spoken to her recently to find out where she's been inquiring on. My next step would be the churches in the area, see if they would let us hold some meetings there.
Okay. Is there anything further on
That
4-H?
young fellow that was interested in joining
Yep.
this, what was his name?
Michael Ellis.
That's right, Michael Ellis. He's got a couple of kids, and he was very interested in all of this, and the 4-H, I was telling you, Dave.
Yep.
So he might be someone to consider for that too,
Okay.
There was also someone that reached out to my daughter, because she kind of promoted it on Facebook. And I think they got a 5-year-old that they were interested in signing up. But I think the age range that Nancy's looking at is like 8 to 18. But if there's enough interest for the younger kids, I can work on getting someone to start up a Clover Buds club for horses.
Okay. All right.
What was Michael's last name? Ellis?
Ellis, yep. 60 County Street,
70.
70 County Street. I lost the information I gave you.
On next to, if the discussion is over with that, on next to, Dave, you'd asked Right to Farm to be
Yeah.
on the agenda?
Fortunately, my computer died about 8 days ago. with
Okay.
all the information on the computer. And with harvest going on, I have not had time to repair it.
Okay.
So I'll have to put that on the back burner for now.
If no one else has anything on right to farm, we will move that to the next meeting. And hopefully the IT guy can have his computer up and running by then. All right, last on the agenda is the farmer's market. And we have a guest in the audience who would like to speak a little bit about the farmer's market possibility in Lakeville.
She's going to introduce herself. My name is Jose Invencio. I am the executive director of LakeCam, and I'm the assistant to my wife, Laura Bailey, for Beach House Baking Company. We've done 6, 7 years now.
No, we
farmers
just
mar-
started 8 years.
8 years.
Well, 5 years of farmers markets.
5 years.
8 years in
farmers
business.
markets, and also large festivals. And I ran the crafters section of the Lions Club Family Fun Fest in September, the last 2 Septembers. So we have some experience with farmers markets. We also have someone who may be interested in being a market manager, although we need to talk to her a little more about that. We also have, I have some suggestions about locations. I'm going to be speaking to Derek Maxey about the hospital property. He's already said he's expressed interest. There are some logistical issues in using that property.
Yep.
I'm going to be visiting him in looking at the large hospital building for LakeCam as a possibility for LakeCam home, and we'll ask him about what he has in mind for a farmer's market. I'm guessing it's just summertime out in the front lawn,
Yep.
which is very visible. And my wife here has done the Made in Lakeville festival for the past 3 years, 4 years, however long it's been going on.
Oh, Christmas time?
That Christmas
Summer.
time.
And then Winterfest,
And Winterfest also,
which
indoors.
is at Ted Williams Camp.
So if the commission has any questions for her about running a market or about being a
Being a
vendor
vendor.
or a crafter at a
I've
market.
never run one, but I was definitely a vendor.
Yeah, we're not interested in running it, just to be clear.
To make that clear on record.
It's hard enough
Yeah.
just to run a booth at a market. It's almost impossible to do both. In fact, at Family Fun Fest, she was running the booth and I was taking care of all the 25 booths, making sure everybody was happy with the way it was set up, and it seems to be running pretty well. If you haven't gone to that, it's a really nice festival,
Yeah, it is.
especially if you have little kids in tow. They love the bouncy houses and everything else that goes on there, especially the balloon that
Oh,
goes
yeah,
up.
balloon, yeah.
Does anybody on the commission have any questions for
I
my wife?
I did, in your experience, do you think we may be better off starting off with a spring type of festival instead of trying to get something underway during the winter months?
You mean festival or farmer's market?
For
or-
farmer's market.
Well, I know at this time of year, there's a lot of vendors looking for a winter market, so if you could get that going, that would be great, because the vendors usually do 3 or 4, maybe 5 markets a week, and then all of a sudden, October, it ends, and then it's like once a month, if you can find a show, and that's, you're counting on that for income, it's, you have to get a part-time job or something at that point. That would be nice because there aren't that many winter markets, and they all seem to be on the same day. So if you wanted to do, some of them are just once a month, and usually a Saturday. So, if you're already booked for that month, so you try to get a different day of the week perhaps, and then you'll have a lot more vendors available. I know quite a few, even just in this area, that are always looking for a winter market. And then, there really isn't much going on. Well, I guess Middleborough has a couple of summer markets. And they don't really start in the spring. They don't really seem to get going till like mid-June, because that's, mostly when the vegetables are ready. I'm a baker, so I can bake year-round. And a lot of the vendors I know that sell cheese and make their own soaps, all that is year-round. It's really about when the vegetables are ready. And that's what really brings in the customers, is the fresh vegetables. As far as, like, I think Middleborough, there's a Saturday market. And during the week is something that I'd be interested in, because I save the weekends for festivals, because they're just much bigger events. And you'd have to really look at, there's some websites where it tells you which day of the week you can find local markets. But when I was doing markets, I had to go to Milton and Dedham and pretty far away, because there wasn't much going on around here. But the Art and Music Festival would always bring a lot of people out, and we thought about having a market there, although the ground isn't very level, as I find out. Setting up, you really do need a level space. But it wouldn't be as big as the Art and Music Festival, maybe even just, in front of the library or something. But just, you got to have a place where you just get people driving by, they see the tents. You could advertise all you want, but most of the customers are, unless they're committing to come every week, but they just see the tents and they stop and want to check it out. Plus we have, a lot of farm stands around, but the markets are really, local foods. Yes, it's important to have 2 or 3 farmers, but then you have cheese and baked goods and some people do juices and all different things. But you're supporting, small business that are in the area. A lot of these small businesses are 1 or 2 people. And he helps me a lot, but he doesn't get paid. Free labor. But I definitely pay my dues doing some really slow markets, and it really takes a lot of effort to get people to come every week. I remember talking a few years ago about starting a market, and never really went anywhere. But Thursday is the big day in Plymouth for a market, so a lot of people go there. So if we had a Thursday market here, then the locals wouldn't have to go that far. Another thing is when people come out of the train station, if they're heading home, if they go right by the market, that's a great place to stop and put a meal together. Some vendors will even have meals ready to go, and that's something you want to consider if it's people getting out of work at a certain time of the day, or getting off the train and heading home. That's because, Lakeville's still pretty much a bedroom town. There's, not a lot of businesses where people work in town, but you really want to get the commuters. So like 18, 105.
Yeah, that's a huge
But also,
spot.
yeah, but having, the place to have it. But I think that's a little easier than, finding an indoor spot for a winter market. Winter markets tend to be once a month, maybe every other week. That would be nice, but yeah, you always have to deal with the weather. I don't usually commit to winter markets because we have a 1,000-foot driveway that doesn't always get plowed right away. So, you have to leave it. If it's a Saturday morning market, you have to leave early. And so I don't really commit to the winter ones just because snow.
Yeah, it'd be tough to do a winter one here in this location, because I don't know of any place where we could host it. I mean, it would have to be inside.
Yeah, during the week especially, I don't know that we could
Yeah,
get it.
like a church, like parish hall or something, like that, but.
The neighbor that you spoke to, is there a experience in running markets?
Oh, Christy, so you mean? Yeah, she was our neighbor at the Cranberry Festival. I was in
okay.
the farmer's market section at the Cranberry Festival, Cranberry Harvest Celebration. And was she from Marion or Wareham? She said she was interested. And there was also a woman from Mattapoisett, Old Rochester, but I guess she has another baby now, so she wouldn't do it.
That's the one
That
Kelly
may be the
recommended.
same one that,
Oh,
What's her name?
yeah, Jen,
Jen,
I
yeah.
can't think of her last name.
yeah, that's the same young
Yeah,
woman
she
we had
runs the Old
spoken to.
Rochester, I don't know if she still does, but that's a Tuesday market. But I would always, I did that market for a couple of years, but man, it was a wind tunnel there. That's at the Old Rochester, what was it, middle school? Yeah, and that was the other factors. It was too windy. It could be dead calm everywhere. You go there, and it was just like they had their own climate. And if the wind's tough, you have to weigh down your tents, and that's a requirement. But I had a tent blow over even with weights on it, and I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of getting my stuff broken. So that wasn't a great location, but it is a pretty busy market.
So to speak to some of the costs involved in terms of porta potties,
Yep.
if that's something you need, or insurance, the idea is to get enough booths to cover that and then some, so that it's generating some revenue for the commission.
Correct.
So that's just a matter of pricing it right and getting the word out and making it successful. Like we've done at the Lions Club, we've had really good sales there, and it was a matter of getting people to come and hang out. Farmers markets are a little different. People come and go.
Yeah.
So you have to basically promote it even more, put a little more money into promotion. But you need to kind of build that into the cost structure, and it has to be continuous promotion. You can't just stop, because people stop coming if you don't remind them that you're there. That's why visibility is really valuable. Being visible to the commuters coming back and forth along 105, if it's the hospital property, that's a
Yeah.
very
great
valuable, because you don't have to do as much advertising.
Right.
People will see you there. We saw that the first year of the Herring Run Festival. We didn't know what we were going to get for customers there, but it's right along Route 44, and people saw the tents and they stopped and they came, and it's been
Which
successful ever
is in
since.
April.
April,
And there's
yeah.
no leaves on the trees.
Yes.
And then once the summer market started, you can't really see. If all the booths are behind the trees, you don't really see it till you've gone by. And, you're probably going 50 miles an hour, and you don't really turn around and come back. We see that a lot. I had that problem in Dedham. It was at a church lawn, and they would have us set up close to the church and far away from the street. And once the church needed to redo the grass and moved the whole market at the street, my sales doubled, because people could see us, and it was a busy intersection, and a lot of foot traffic. So, but it's more of a city than Lakeville is.
Yeah, again, the concern with the private property was the possibility of an insurance binder being needed for us, whereas if we were to do something at the old town hall, we would be blanket.
Well, that's what the vendor fees go for, really. It's just the insurance and to pay the market manager, and sometimes the market managers volunteer. And there's also, different businesses that will, promote or I should say,
Sponsor.
sponsor the market. Yeah, that's really what all our vendor fees went toward, is, paying the rent of the place and the insurance.
All right.
I was going to say, Jose, you mentioned that you had some locations in mind, and one would be the hospital location.
The hospital location, obviously, with the Old Town House and around the Old Town House, including the parking lot,
Right.
which makes a very good location, even though it's not level. And here at Ted Williams Camp, in front of the building, where there's a flat land that was used for the Pagan Festival. That looked like a really nice location.
Yeah, I did that festival. And
And
it
there's
was
lots of
nice and
parking,
flat,
and I know there are a lot of
Little
people.
bathroom right there.
A lot of people, yeah, there's a bathroom right there, that's
Right
right.
behind me.
Very
That's
important. And it's a plumbed bathroom, not porta
Right.
potties.
The
But
real
that
sink to wash
location
your
also
hands.
has a lot of built-in customers from all the parents and kids who
Sure.
are coming to, play sports. Parking may be a little bit more difficult, but it's not impossible. It is not visible. That's one of the negatives of it, so you do have to promote it. It's become more visible now that the police station has cleared all that
Yeah,
land
that's
from
true,
from
yeah.
18, but that would take a little bit more promotion than the hospital property. Yeah.
I didn't even consider that location. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there any chance that?
I'm sorry, there is one more location, and I've asked the Lions Club, I'm a member of the Lions, I've asked, would the Lions consider renting their space, like we had for the Family Festival, to a farmer's market? And they said yes. I don't know how much they would charge, but there are bathrooms inside the building. And there is even some outside lighting there for late night. But they said yes. I was kind of surprised that they would say yes to that. But they like to promote membership in the Lions Club, and that would be a natural.
They could be a vendor, you know,
They could be-
making burgers or whatever.
Who would be a contact at the Lions Club? Because I did, I have spoken with the town, I have spoken with Mr. Maxey, I
Yeah,
would be interested.
you may want to talk to Steve Metzger, the current King Lion
Okay.
for this year, and he's definitely the number one person. And he's at that first farmhouse building on Old Main Street, on the left side. If you're coming from downtown, going out Old Main, he's the first building on the right, and he's usually in the shed carving or working on chairs. He does a lot of interesting crafts there himself. He'll be sitting towards the street, and you'll see him there
Okay.
during the day.
I may check with him tomorrow.
Okay.
Right, and if you could share if you had contact information for the party that was possibly interested.
We have her number.
Okay.
We'll contact
I'll-
her.
Yeah, and I'll,
Feel her out about
I think you have my number.
about it was spring, starting in the spring.
Yep, yep, and I think you have my phone number, so
do.
if you can feel free to share that with her.
Okay.
I'd prefer not to announce it on Lake Cam,
No, please don't.
you know, just in case. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Anything else? I did have one note on the any other business. I had hoped to see Michael Ellis, who had spoken with Hank and had emailed me about the possibility of coming on as a associate member of the commission. I will reach out to him tomorrow and maybe put a bug in his ear about the next meeting in November, and have him sit in before he would send a letter of interest to the Board of Selectmen. All right, if there is nothing further, I would entertain a motion to close the meeting.
A motion that we close this meeting?
Second.
Okay, the meeting is closed at 8:08 PM. Thank you.
Thank you all.